Great father, great husband, great philanthropist, great businessman, great director, great producer, great host, great basketball player, great leader. I mean, my God, I have done everything but put diapers and a bib on this brother. But it ain't enough, because one thing matters to him and one thing only, and that's him being recognized as the greatest of all times. Well, you're not. For them when they win, I criticize them when they're messing up, in an effort to make sure that you don't do it again. I'm not wishing anybody to fail, but I have to call it how I see it, because I have an audience to answer to. These players, I don't get paid to talk.
LeBron James is at the center of a wild federal investigation after agents reportedly stormed his mansions in both Los Angeles and Ohio. This isn't about basketball anymore. Officials are calling it Operation Nothing But Net.
Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra, to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese.
Sources told the Post that Jones sent a message to one of the betting ring members on February 9, 2023, urging him to place a large bet on the Lakers' opponent, the Milwaukee Bucks, because James would be out with an injury.
But we begin with a story that has dominated the headlines. The FBI announced on Thursday that two major operations, one involving the sharing of insider information for betting on NBA games, and the other centering on rigged poker games using high-tech cheating devices, have led to the arrest of more than 30 suspects.
What started as a quiet probe into some shady insider activity inside the NBA has now turned into one of the craziest scandals the league's ever faced. Sources say investigators have been tracing strange money trails, secret messages, and private medical reports that all point straight to the king himself, LeBron James. Things got messy when his longtime friend and ex-teammate Damon Jones was officially named in court papers earlier this year.
Individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for.
According to those documents, Jones was accused of leaking private player health info before key Lakers matchups, including the February 9th, 2023 game against Milwaukee and another against OKC in early 2024.
That he has, with others, and just because no one else has been charged, which normally in a RICO case you would have others charged. It was a statute designed to get mob bosses, trying to get at criminal behavior that's like a web of criminal behavior that you can't necessarily prove, like the one thing or the statute of limitations expired on the other thing, but you're just showing this bad guy who's operating what's clearly an enterprise that over and over engages in criminal problems or criminal acts.
In one message mentioned by investigators, Jones allegedly told someone to make a move on Milwaukee tonight before any injury news went public. Just hours later, LeBron sat out that very game and Milwaukee walked away with the win. What seemed like a simple case against Jones suddenly flipped upside down when agents started digging deeper into LeBron's own camp. Reports say they seized phones, computers, and financial records straight from his LA mansion and Ohio estate. Things just got real.
We do have more breaking news this morning. Two big names in the NBA among more than 30 people arrested in connection with federal investigation into sports betting and illegal gambling.
Sources close to the case say the warrant was clear. Investigators were chasing possible ties between Damon Jones's alleged insider ring and a much bigger money network, one that could be linked to a superstar player. And that name floating at the top of the list?
Now for some of the biggest trending stories you'll want to know today. Sports legend. People call him the GOAT. LeBron James taking an excused absence from the basketball season. This, as resurfaced video, is being examined in a...
LeBron James. Officials insist no charges have been filed and claim LeBron's been fully cooperating. But word on the street tells a different story. Insiders say investigators are digging through encrypted chats, secret accounts, and overseas money transfers tied to people once part of LeBron's travel crew.
Same kind of extortion that we heard when Cassie took the stand and testified on that airplane ride back from France, Diddy said, you don't do a freak off, I'm going to release one of the freak off videos that you are profiled in. And
one source even leaked that his name shows up several times in the internal files. This story's snowballing fast, and fans are losing it. Nobody expected LeBron's name to even appear in something this messy. Before his arrest, Damon Jones was reportedly living like a man with endless cash flow.
and 3 others where we've laid out the prosecution case. This time, we're talking specifically, what is Diddy's defense? And we decided to test it with a mock jury, and it is fascinating.
It is absolutely fascinating, keeping in mind that the real jury will be sitting down to do this. The trial starts.
Witnesses from a Vegas luxury resort said he was lounging in VIP spots, puffing premium cigars, and throwing LeBron's name around like it was his personal backstage pass. One pro athlete told investigators that Jones bragged nonstop about having inside scoop on team injuries and travel schedules.
Known that I've talked for a while, a lot of people are buzzing that Diddy's former BFFs are real quiet.
And they have been.
And people were wondering why and who's the next to fall. And then Jay-Z comes out, and then LeBron James says, I'm stepping away for excused personal reasons. And people are going, oh, what is going on?
But here's the twist. Behind all that flexing and champagne talk, people say Jones gave off a weird vibe of desperation, like a man trying way too hard to prove he still had power in the game. People close to the scene say Jones started hitting folks up for quick cash just to keep his flashy lifestyle alive.
The first indictment involves 6 defendants. This scheme is an insider sports betting conspiracy that exploited confidential information about National Basketball Association athletes.
That's when the whispers turned from gossip to full-blown suspicion. The NBA jumped in fast, publicly stating that LeBron had zero connection to Jones's private dealings. League insiders doubled down, telling reporters that LeBron had no clue about any shady moves and that his bond with Jones was strictly personal, not business. But things took a wild turn when investigators decided to dig deeper.
Coach saying he is out for personal reasons. It's an excused absence. However, social media trying to connect it to a resurfaced clip where James joined Diddy Combs on a live stream and said, quote, hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party. I think that went viral.
Federal documents reportedly show agents combing through private chats between the two men, and that's when a bombshell dropped. A familiar name popped up on the warrant, LeBron James. That revelation shook the entire sports world to its core. Fans and analysts everywhere are now asking, if LeBron's just a witness, why did agents need to search both his homes? According to insiders, those warrants mentioned coordination of privileged information, a term that usually means active back and forth, not just watching from the sidelines.
So maybe the judge is going to give him more than time, sir.
But we should say that the maximum he could get is 20 years.
And that's what I want to get into for a minute, because this is some racist you-know-what, this man.
Officials still stress there's no proof LeBron did anything illegal. But his tight bond with Jones, mixed with some suspicious financial shifts and private jet trips, has definitely raised eyebrows. And here's where it gets even crazier. The date that keeps coming up, February 9th, 2023, wasn't just another Lakers game. Something about that night seems to be the key to the whole story. It all went down just 2 days after LeBron broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's legendary scoring record.
Interestingly, we haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence.
Right after that emotional celebration, he suddenly sat out, citing soreness. And that exact matchup turned out to be the same game Damon Jones allegedly used when he leaked a private team update. Once investigators connected that date to Jones's messages, the whole thing started looking like possible coordination, whether intentional or not. Then, about a year later in January 2024, Jones supposedly passed along another confidential update before a game against Oklahoma City. And once again, he bragged about his close link to LeBron. The timing, the names, the coincidences, it's too wild for fans to ignore. And all of this is hitting while the NBA is already struggling with a massive credibility issue, with multiple insiders under review. But despite the chaos, all eyes landed right back on LeBron when footage surfaced showing government vehicles parked outside his Brentwood mansion. Social media went into absolute meltdown. Everyone's been asking, what's really happening behind those doors? Some analysts are calling it a total misunderstanding tied to Jones's private hustle, but others, especially sports law experts, say it's very rare for feds to raid someone's home if they're only a witness. In the days that followed, LeBron's legal team stayed mostly silent, releasing just one short statement saying they were fully cooperating with authorities. But anyone familiar with legal talk knows that phrase doesn't always mean someone's been cleared. It often means discussions are still ongoing behind the scenes. According to one insider, agents reportedly seized multiple electronic devices, including secured tablets that may have belonged to team associates. While the contents haven't been confirmed, leaks suggest they could contain travel notes and team schedules dating all the way back to late 2022, the same time Jones started hanging around the Lakers more often. From that point on, things only got murkier, blurring the line between rumor and revelation. Sources claim what began as a simple internal review of game-related activity was just one layer of a much deeper federal probe. Investigators allegedly started comparing Jones's communication logs with a second circle of entertainment insiders, people already connected to another ongoing investigation involving major event promoters and sponsorships. When asked why these links were being revisited, one legal analyst explained that Operation Nothing But Net isn't just about insider talk. It's about tracking complex money flows across sports and entertainment. We're talking sponsorship deals, brand partnerships, and event promotions, all areas where business and friendship often mix in confusing ways. If any of those financial paths cross between Jones and his known contacts, the situation could turn serious fast. Still, it's important to note, nothing has been proven in court, and LeBron has not been charged with any wrongdoing at all. Publicly, he's been doing his best to keep his cool. Right after news broke, he was spotted courtside in LA wearing a bright floral cardigan, laughing with teammates like nothing was wrong. But behind closed doors, insiders say he's feeling the pressure. He's cut down on interviews, skipped a few media spots, and limited his travel while the situation unfolds. Even inside the Lakers organization, everyone's treading carefully, waiting for official clarity before speaking out. For now, the entire basketball world is glued to the story, watching as one of the biggest legends in the game stands in the middle of a storm that's getting wilder by the day. And just when people thought the saga had hit its peak, investigators reportedly began tracing LeBron's social and business ties to a powerful entertainment figure known for hosting elite celebrity events. That's when everything took a shocking turn, suggesting this story might reach far beyond basketball. What started as a simple follow-up on league records suddenly collided with the world of luxury entertainment, private parties, and exclusive guest lists. The investigation reportedly took an unexpected turn when federal agents found overlapping names between sports insiders and elite event organizers, one of them being a major figure already serving time for misconduct tied to adult entertainment circles. His empire fell apart in public view, and now somehow, one of the biggest athletes on the planet, LeBron James, has been pulled into that same orbit. Fans everywhere are stunned, asking how deep this connection really runs and what it could mean for LeBron's future, on and off the court. Almost overnight, an old clip resurfaced and went viral. A throwback video of LeBron laughing during an Instagram live session with that same entertainment mogul joking, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." Back then, it was all fun and celebrity energy, but now the internet's watching that same clip under a whole new light. Every frame's being slowed down, analyzed, and picked apart as if people are hunting for hidden clues. Viewers are even reading into LeBron's expressions, trying to guess if his casual joke hinted at a deeper connection to that high-profile world. It's crazy how fast public opinion can flip when the headlines change. And to be clear, LeBron hasn't been accused of any illegal or inappropriate behavior. Still, insiders say his name reportedly came up when investigators started reviewing old guest lists from those once famous celebrity gatherings, now under intense federal review. Those parties, once hyped as glamorous star-studded nights, are being re-examined in new testimony painting a much darker picture of manipulation and misconduct inside that elite social network. Yet through all the noise, LeBron's legal team has kept silent, refusing to make any public comment. The Lakers have also stayed quiet, waiting for solid facts. But that silence is only making the story spread even faster. To make things even wilder, the same week agents allegedly took items from LeBron's homes. Prosecutors announced that Operation Nothing But Net was expanding. They're reportedly merging new data from entertainment-linked accounts associated with that same powerful circle. Internal files mention a cross-reference ledger suggesting that some of the same financial middlemen might have been tied to both Damon Jones's insider connections and those entertainment world transactions. This storm's getting bigger by the day. That's when officials reportedly started piecing things together, realizing that certain payments and guest lists might actually overlap. Behind the scenes, PR teams are scrambling to control the damage, while major corporate sponsors quietly double-check every contract tied to LeBron's name and image. Insiders say at least 2 huge brands have already hit pause on upcoming ad campaigns featuring him until federal investigators provide more clarity. Inside NBA circles, the conversations change completely. It's no longer just about whether LeBron knew anything about Damon Jones. It's about whether he had any awareness of those high-end celebrity gatherings and what was really happening at them. Even the slightest hint of connection has executives and brand managers in panic mode. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get more tangled, new whispers started leaking from people once part of that same elite social circle. One former event organizer allegedly told reporters that LeBron's name popped up in internal coordination chats going all the way back to 2018. Another insider claimed investigators found contact logs mentioning multiple high-profile athletes while combing through seized digital records from that entertainment mogul security team. Now, let's be clear. None of this has been officially confirmed, and there's still zero direct evidence. But that hasn't stopped social media from exploding with speculation. Online sleuths are scouring old clips, party photos, and archive posts like it's a digital crime scene, trying to connect dots that might not even exist. The deeper they dig, the wilder the theories get, and the bigger the mystery around LeBron's possible connection to that world becomes. Reports suggest that some private messages recovered from the search of LeBron's mansion are now under close review. Investigators are allegedly checking if any of them tie to exclusive gatherings once hosted in Los Angeles or Miami. Sources familiar with the situation say those messages include encrypted chats linked to names that later surfaced in that entertainment management network. Whether those were harmless, friendly convos, casual business talk, or something deeper, it's still a total mystery. But in the tense climate of Operation Nothing But Net, even a vague message can sound suspicious to outsiders. People who've known LeBron for years say one thing's always been true: he's loyal to the bone. The type of guy who never forgets the ones who rode with him back in his Akron days. That loyalty built a small but unbreakable inner circle that's followed him through every stage of his career, from Cleveland to Miami to Los Angeles, stacked with years of favors, trust, and deep business ties. But now, investigators are hinting that this same loyalty might be his biggest weakness. Former Lakers insiders claim LeBron's devotion to longtime friends sometimes clashed with team rules. Some of his personal associates, many with no official team role, were reportedly spotted inside training facilities, on private flights, and even courtside at closed practices. That kind of access blurred the line between business and friendship, according to several ex-staffers. It became normal. If LeBron said someone was good, they stayed, no questions asked. That was part of his image. The self-made superstar who stayed grounded, who never turned his back on his day ones. But as Operation Nothing But Net keeps expanding, that same quality is now being examined under a harsh new light. Sources say investigators are now studying whether LeBron's deep trust in people like Damon Jones, or even some entertainment contacts from previous seasons, might have accidentally opened doors for private team info to leak beyond the locker room. Several former teammates allegedly mentioned that, over the years, LeBron brushed off quiet warnings about certain people in his camp. Coaches and security staff had occasionally advised him to keep some distance from folks whose financial moves looked questionable. Insiders say LeBron always listened respectfully, but rarely took action. To him, loyalty wasn't a tactic, it was a way of life. His entire empire was built on the foundation of trust. Staying true to the same circle that helped him rise wasn't just noble, it was necessary in his eyes. But now that same unshakable loyalty might be putting him in a tricky position, surrounded by people who might not share his sense of loyalty or discretion. From a psychological angle, fame at LeBron's level can make those lines between friendship, business, and dependency fade fast. And in a moment like this, that could change everything. The people closest to LeBron might be both his biggest protection and his biggest risk. That's the harsh truth about fame. When you reach that level of global power, even the ones you trust most can accidentally open doors straight into chaos. Experts who study celebrity behavior say that when pressure builds to extreme levels, stars often retreat into tight little circles where real criticism fades and tough truths get softened. In those spaces, loyalty becomes a lifeline, and betrayal feels impossible until it happens. The latest reports showing that investigators are now studying communication logs between LeBron and his longtime associates reveal just how fragile that inner circle may have become. Sources close to the situation believe loyalty itself might be the common thread tying everything together. The insider whispers, the entertainment money trails, and those social connections that once brushed up against the same crowd as Diddy's old world. To those watching closely, this isn't about greed. It's about how LeBron's unshakable loyalty might have blurred his judgment when it came to drawing hard lines. That human instinct, magnified by fame and power, could explain why agents are now combing through the private files of one of the most disciplined athletes alive. LeBron's loyalty has always been his biggest strength, but now, some fear it might be his downfall. The same trust that built his empire, opened his kingdom, and lifted his image could now be what's shaking it from the inside out. You can feel how the stories shifted, from sports to secrecy. For years, LeBron James stood for control, focus, and perfection. The athlete who never cracked under pressure. But right now, that calm image is being tested harder than ever. Analysts are already pointing to his quiet withdrawal from major charity events as a big red flag of damage control. One Los Angeles PR insider even said, "When a brand as spotless as LeBron's goes quiet, it usually means the lawyers are calling the shots." Meanwhile, the internet's gone full detective mode, spinning wild theories, claiming Operation Nothing But Net might somehow cross paths with Diddy's fallen empire through a maze of shared business ties, sponsorship accounts, and elite charity galas that might have doubled as secret networking parties. None of this has been proven, but every new file that surfaces only adds more fuel to the online frenzy. People are comparing flight records, matching event dates, and digging through old photos to find any link between LeBron and the cities where those infamous gatherings took place. Even coincidences are now being treated like digital evidence in this massive internet investigation. And through all of it, LeBron stayed silent. No statements, no denials, no social posts, nothing. That quiet confidence that once made him look calm and calculated now feels like something else. Like he's waiting. Like he's letting everyone guess while he holds the real cards. But the longer he stays quiet, the louder the questions get. What did LeBron really know about those private events? Did the same financial handlers who managed Damon Jones's insider moves also help organize those high-end parties? Or is this just another case of guilt by association? Another example of how fame and power twist together until truth gets blurred. For years, LeBron built his empire on integrity, from his family-focused image to his success in film, fashion, and philanthropy. But now that reputation, and the vast network behind it, is facing more pressure than ever as investigators dig deeper into connections with people from that fallen entertainment circle. So now the question stands, did loyalty go too far? Or are we just seeing the first glimpse of something much bigger waiting to explode? One thing's for sure. When the truth finally drops, it might change everything we thought we knew about fame, loyalty, and control in modern celebrity life. What do you think really hides behind LeBron's silence? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button and subscribe for more updates. Because this story, it's nowhere near over. Stay tuned. This one's about to get even crazier.